So Josh Miller recovers the fumble. The Wildcats again in business, this time at their own 46-yard line.
So they see maybe Kennedy was the one that knocked the ball loose. But it will be a first down for Fort Payne from their own 46-yard line. And Stakely came out throwing, and he had his Michael Bagan be wide open. And look, going there, Fort Payne jumping offside. He was offsides by a little, as Fort Payne, they were not a whole lot of doubt about that. You could have called that one, couldn't you? As Kenny Chadwick lined up on the wing, and he went all the way down to where the defensive back was before he made contact. 5-yard step off for Fort Payne. We'll put it back to the 42-yard line. Well, he is quick off the ball, isn't he, that Kenny Chadwick? So here is Fort Payne with the eye set again. They drove 75 yards the last time. Prater pitched to Prater. Prater got across the 40 and got up to the 44-yard line. Picked up about 3 of the full 5 that they were penalized.
That time, Larry, the Wildcats just ran out of blockers. Elliott McElrath threw a good block, but unfortunately there were too many defenders over there, not enough blockers, but he does pick up about 3 yards on the play.
So it'll be second down and 13 for Fort Payne with 6:40 to go. This might be a good time to find one of those tight ends. And they have Heath Owen lined up in the tight end position on the far side. The eye set, Thomas Brandon to the near side. Daniel Thompson is your quarterback. And Daniel will run his option play, kept himself, got outside, found the hole at the 40, 50, the 45, and all the way down to the Huntsville 35-yard line goes Daniel Thompson. He ran that option play to this near side, and nobody picked him up, and he found a hole, ran it all the way down to the Huntsville 34.
Actually, he also had Thomas Brandon trailing, and if Daniel had lateraled the ball back to Thomas, we'd have 6 more points on the board. But anyway, the Wildcats are set up at the 34-yard line of Huntsville.
21-yard ramble by Daniel Thompson gives Fort Payne a first down at the Huntsville 34-yard line with 6:08 to go in the opening quarter. The eye set again with Thomas Brandon on the near side. They're going to pitch the ball to the far side of Prater. Prater cut it back across the middle and got hit and driven down, but he picked up about 3 yards on the play, on a penalty play. They get Fort Payne for a hold. That ball was thrown in the direction of where holding is normally called, so let's check the holding call here. Umpire threw the call. And I think it's probably going to be against Fort Payne for a hold. There it is. Fort Payne. Fort Payne penalty for holding. That'll move it back to the 44. Actually, they only penalized 9 yards. We started on the 30. Well, that's right, though. So Fort Payne will be first and 20 now. They go spread the field a little. Chadwick to the far side, Thomas Brandon to the near side, and Daniel Thompson will send Chadwick back in motion towards the ball. We run his option play to the far side and kept it himself and gave it to McElrath. Elliott McElrath got about 4 yards out of it when it didn't look like there was anything there. He got it into the 40, so a good run by Elliott McElrath.
Actually, like you, Larry, I thought Daniel Thompson had kept the ball, and Daniel just all of a sudden didn't have it. Everybody wasn't paying him any attention at all, and we get 4 yards out of the play.
The Fort Payne will be at the 39-yard line now. So Daniel Thompson will run his offense again. He'll send Thomas Brandon to the far side, and we'll line up in a double tight end formation with a wing back on the far side. Runs his option play again, and gave it up the middle to Elliott McElrath. Not much there on this play, as Huntsville closed him down in a hurry. Fort Payne will be 3rd down and long. They've got to get to the 24 for a first down. They'll mark the ball at the 37.
That time Wynn and Parker both were able to come in and make the tackle. And this is really the first 3rd and long situation. I guess we had 3rd and 7 earlier down on the goal line. This time it's 3rd and about 14. So let's see if the Wildcats go to the air.
Chadwick and Brandon split wide, left and right. Heath Owen lines up in the tight end position on the far side, and Daniel Thompson will roll to the near side to pass it. Run pass option. He throws. He has Thomas Brandon all alone at the 5 touchdown. Thomas Brandon was all by himself down around the 5-yard line, and he went in for the touchdown. A great pass there from Daniel Thompson. Looking for flags. There are no flags, so Fort Payne got a touchdown out of it.
Jerome Roberts was on the coverage for Huntsville, and he really doesn't even look around until it's too late. As you said, Thomas caught the ball about the 7-yard line, danced into the end zone. The Wildcats looking mighty good.
37 yards and a touchdown. Fort Payne leads it by a score of 13-0. Josh Miller stuck the extra point up there, knocked it through. 4:17 to go in the first quarter. Fort Payne leads it by a score of 14-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. Fort Payne goes 58 yards in 5 plays and looked impressive in doing it. Patrick Tate will now kick it away again for the second time tonight. And he's lined up on the wing on that hash mark on the far side again and sailed this one more down the middle, and it's going down to the 5-yard line. It's going to be caught there on the 5-yard line, back up to the 10, across the middle of the 20, 25, found to hold it to 30. And a great tackle there by Patrick Tate, as Aaron Barnes was maybe that one tackle away from taking it all the way, and Patrick Tate grabbed him by the ankles and threw him down up around the 35-yard line.
Well, Fort Payne still had Darrell Prater a couple of yards back in case Tate did not make the tackle. I think Darrell would have gotten him, but anyway, a good tackle by Tate.
So here will be Huntsville to the line of scrimmage, and they will run out of that split formation again. The quarterback is Stakely. Fort Payne leads it 14-0. The split back's going to give it up the middle, and Dart lowering his head and going for 2 or 3 yards will be Michael Geary. So Michael Geary with his first carry of the night nets about 4 yards on the play, ran it off the right side. Nothing fancy about that, as Stakely just turned and handed the ball to Geary, and he forward straight ahead and picked up about 4 yards on the play.
Brandon Waller on the tackle for the Wildcats there, Larry.
And we'll give him a 3-yard gain on that play. Huntsville will be second down and 7 with 3:42 to go in the opening quarter. Fort Payne leads it 14-0. Split backfield again, and they're going to run the reverse on the near side, and he got it inside. Fort Payne doing a great job there of hemming him in and knocking him down. As Fort Payne's Dreyer came up there, but he had a lot of white shirts there to help him out, Roger.
Once again, Brandon Waller in on the tackle, had him around the ankles and brought him down, but there were a whole host of Wildcat tacklers in on the play. So the Wildcats really are charged up thus far, Larry.
Jonathan Dreyer was one of those that came around there to knock him down. 3rd down and 5 for the Crimson Panthers at their own 40-yard line. That play only picked up 2 yards. They ran the reverse to Michael B. Gale. Here's 3rd down and 5 for Huntsville with 2:58 to go in the quarter. And Stakely looks over that Fort Payne defense. Stakely will roll back the pass, though. It's going to be incomplete. He had his man up around the 48-yard line on that quick look in. He tried to hit Matt Kahanick, and Kahanick, the ball was just overthrown, couldn't get to it.
He was covered very well also by Cameron Kennedy on the play, but he would have had the first down if he somehow managed to make the catch. But we'll see now what the punter for Huntsville can do, as Kenny Chadwick, along with Prater, is back to receive the punt.
He's supposed to be an excellent kicker. This will be Ryan Hunt. So he'll punt the ball away. And Fort Payne will have twin receivers back. Hunt will kick it from around his 30. Got a good snap. Almost blocked there, but he got away a spiraling kick that's going to be caught by Chadwick at the 20. They're going to reverse it, and Chadwick got a great block over there. Got another great block. And now he's going to be almost tackled by his own man. Now late flag came in there. That flag came in very, very late. And Darrell Prater looked like they got Darrell Prater for a clip, but looked like he ran right into that guy. And flag came awfully late, but it'll be a clip against Fort Payne. Flag laying on the 15. They'll step it back to about the 7.5. You see a clip?
I sure did.
Who made the clip?
I didn't see who made the clip. I just saw the clip, Larry.
2:32 to go. Fort Payne will start from deep in their own territory, but they do have the ball after stopping Huntsville. And they'll step it back to the 8, we'll call it. So Fort Payne with a long way to go. But the Cat to move the ball consistently tonight.
The Wildcats have to be careful here for not give up a turnover, Larry. With this big lead, we don't want to do anything that might let Huntsville back into the game.
Thomas Brandon to the far side. The tight end, Heath Owen, lines up on this near side. The I formation for Daniel Thompson, and Daniel will run his up the middle to Prater. And Darrell Prater got maybe back to the line of scrimmage, tried to run that trap play, and Darrell Prater got a yard or 2. I'm not sure he got anything. They're going to mark him down right around the 8-yard line, so we'll give him no gain on that play.
Once again, it was Nick Sneed for Huntsville making the tackle, his 3rd tackle that I have down for him tonight.
Sneed is one of their better players. Sneed and Perez didn't get anything. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Fort Payne has built a 14-0 lead. Wildcats will come out with Chadwick to the far side and a double tight end set. In the I formation, Chadwick back in motion towards the ball. Going to run the option play to the far side. Gave it to McElrath. McElrath broke a tackle, broke another tackle, and another flag comes in there. They may get Fort Payne for an illegal block. Look how they threw it right at Kenny Chadwick, who may have made a crackback block there. Check the flag, and I think that may be what it is. Flip, they call it. Had to be on Kenny Chadwick, who came from the wide out, came back in towards the ball, and across the way, Coach Elmore asking for an explanation. And at Fort Payne,
that's the 5th penalty for Fort Payne, and we're not even out of the first quarter yet.
This will be back to the 5-yard line. So really only a 3-yard penalty after the long run, but it'll be a penalty nevertheless. They'll get the down over again. So Fort Payne has 2nd down now and 13. They send Matt Hughes to the near side, Thomas Brandon to the far side. They line their tight end. He's Owen up on this near side. Run his option play and pitches the ball to Prater. Prater looking for a block outside and got a little block and got up to the 10-yard line and squirmed on well. Got tackled right at the 10. I thought he was going to be able to break it loose and get a couple more yards, but he did get up to the 10. It'll be about a 5-yard pickup for Darrell Prater. Will bring up 3rd down now, and about 8.
Boy, dangerous play there by the Wildcats as Thompson pitched the ball about 3 or 4 yards deep into the end zone by Prater. But he was able to bring it out, and as Larry says, we have a 3rd down and about 7 to go.
Fort Payne needs to get to the 18 for a 1st down. We're down to a minute to go in the quarter. Fort Payne with a 14-0 lead. They send Chadwick to the near side and Brandon to the far side on a possession play for Fort Payne. Thomas Brandon will send Chadwick back in motion towards the ball. He'll run his quick trap up the middle and gave it to Elliot McElrath, and he got a yard. Now, I think maybe Huntsville was looking for that play. Fort Payne will send in their kicking play. Thomas Brandon will have to kick from around his own 5-yard line. Tried to run a quick trap to Elliot McElrath. Huntsville looking for it. Mark it on the 12-yard line, so a couple of yards there for Elliot McElrath. And Thomas Brandon stands on his goal line to kick this ball away. John Stakely back around the 50 for Huntsville. Snap is high. They're coming after him, but he got away a great kick. Stakely's going to back up to his own 45-yard line, and down he goes. Just took a knee at the 42-yard line. Thomas Brandon came into this game with an averaging 45 yards a kick, and he whistled that thing out of there, knocked it all the way down to the 43-yard line of Huntsville. So a great kick by Thomas Brandon.
First, the Huntsville receiver was just standing at the Wildcat 40, and I was thinking then, boy, this kid, if he don't move back, he's going to be chasing the ball down. And sure enough, Thomas lets go with one of his fine kicks that we've seen out of Thomas all year long, and his 45-yard average probably held up on that kick.
Yeah, 5 seconds to go in the quarter. Fort Payne with a 14-0 lead, and Huntsville will start on their own 44-yard line after that outstanding. We'll figure out how far that was in just a minute. But here is Huntsville to the line of scrimmage, and now they're trying to figure out which side they're going to put Michael Begale on. He gets off to the far side now, and they're going to run that fullback up the middle. He found a little hole outside, got it up to the 48-yard line, 49. That'll be the last play of the first quarter. At the end of 1, Fort Payne leads Huntsville by a score of 14-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network.
Welcome back once again. Just finishing the first quarter of play here at Joe Davis Stadium. Fort Payne taking on Huntsville, and Fort Payne out in front, 14-0. Fort Payne over Huntsville. Let's take a quick look right now before the second quarter starts. In the first down category, Fort Payne with 4, Huntsville with no first downs. Yards rushing, Fort Payne with 109 yards on the ground already. Huntsville just 5. Passing yardage, 38 for the Wildcats, and no passing yardage for Huntsville. Total yards for the Wildcats this first quarter, 147 against 5 for Huntsville. So Roger Engel, things going the way of the Wildcats the first quarter of this game.
Well, the Wildcats have been able to overcome the many penalties. You said, I think we've already had, what, 5
penalties already
here in the first period. So the Wildcats are playing pretty well at this point, and Huntsville is yet to be able to solve the Wildcat defense and pick up a first down.
They'll have 2nd and 4 at the right around midfield, their own 49-yard line when we get started here. But good start by Fort Payne. After that loss last week, Fort Payne has come out with an awful lot of emotion. Huntsville to the line of scrimmage. They have John Stakely in there at quarterback. Wayne and Gary are the two running backs in the backfield behind him. Gale is the wing back on this near side. Stakely will run Gary, and he darted across the 50, lowered his head and got a couple of yards. It'll be third down and about 3. But they're going to try to run right at Fort Payne.
And so far, they've not been able to do very much. I think they had a 4-yard run. Probably it's about their longest run they've had against the Wildcats at this point.
Yeah, had a 3-yard and a 2-yard.
So it'll be at the Fort Payne 48-yard line. Third down, and we'll call it 1 for our first down. Actually, a little bit more than 1 with 11:33 to go into half. Fort Payne 14 and Huntsville nothing. Stakely is your quarterback. Wayne and Gary are split in the backfield behind him again. And they send a man in motion near side. They run up the middle of Gary and get tripped down. I don't know if he got it. He got tripped and he dove forward, and it depends on the spot, but I don't know if he got his first down. They may, even if he didn't get it, go for it here, trailing 14-0. They're going to bring the chains in the measure, but they put Gary in motion and handed the ball to Clark Wine. And from here, it's right at that marker. We'll check it when they bring the chains across. This would be Huntsville's first down if they get it.
That's right, Larry. First down for Huntsville. If they get it, we'll have to see where the officials spot the ball.
Fort Payne's band is here. They're way up to that corner on the right side over there. And it is a first down for Huntsville. Their first down. They keep their drive alive down to the Fort Payne 47-yard line. Here will be Stakely, the quarterback. They have a couple of real small guards. Nick Sneed weighs in at 158 pounds, and Robert White, the other guard, weighs in at 172. Stakely, your quarterback, will be to the line of scrimmage. He has wideouts left and right, and John Stakely will run his option play to the near side. Going to keep the ball. Now pitch is wide. The ball's on the ground, kicked out of bounds. The Huntsville back, that was Michael Gary tried to pick it up and just kicked it out of bounds. A break for Huntsville. Fort Payne was about to get that ball.
I think it was a busted play, Larry. It looked like the quarterback is looking to hand off to a runner coming out of the backfield. When he wasn't there,
yeah.
He simply rolled to his left, then tried to pitch out. And as you say, lucky break for Huntsville as it goes out of bounds. And they'll pick up about a yard on the miscue.
Yeah, they'll get it just inside the... They're looking at losing at least 5 or 7, or... Maybe Fort Payne had a good chance to catch the ball, and Gary tried to pick it up and just kicked it out of bounds. It'll be at the 46-yard line, so we'll give him a yard gain. Second down and 1. Now they go to the shotgun formation, and Stakely is sitting back there in that shotgun. They send a man in motion to the far side, snap the ball to Stakely. Stakely rolling to the right, being chased by Trace, and it's going to get about 4 yards down to the 38-yard line. Well, got a little bit more than that. Stakely just rolls to the right after he got that ball, and really didn't look like he had any receivers downfield. That was run all the way, and Huntsville will be third down in a yard.
Yeah, I think he tried to draw the secondary back, acting like he was going to throw the ball, but I think it was a run from the get-go, and he's about a yard or maybe even a little less than a yard shy of the first down at the Wildcat 37-yard line, just outside the 37.
Now they go to the pro set again with Stakely in there at quarterback. Wayne and Gary are lined up behind him, and he's going to give the ball to Gary. And Gary got his first down, but he got punished as he got into the 35. Got a first down. Fort Payne hit him hard in there, knocked him down, but he did get a first down.
Colin Dawson was in on the tackle that time, Larry, as well as number 40 for the Wildcats, Jonathan Dreyer.
Give him a couple of yard gain. It'll be Huntsville's second first down of the night. Second first down in this drive. So they've driven for a couple of first downs, having it to Fort Payne 34. Fort Payne leads it 14-0 with 9:58 to go in the opening half. Wideouts left and right for the Crimson Panthers. John Stakely is your quarterback. Split back there behind Stakely, and Stakely will run his reverse to the far side and gave it away. And there's Fort Payne to knock him down. They tried to run the reverse to Roberts, and he got knocked down after a couple of yards gain. Jay Durham is there, but Fort Payne did a good job of diagnosing that play.
Colin Dawson again on this tackle there as he chased him down from behind along with Jay Durham. So really, Huntsville not fooling the Wildcats on the run. The yards that they've picked up on the run have been just really kind of, I guess, their own strength, but they haven't fooled the Wildcats yet.
So it'll be second down and 9 for Huntsville with 9:13 to go in the opening half. They're at the Fort Payne 33-yard line. The quarterback is Stakely in the shotgun formation. And Stakely will get the football. He has receivers out this time. Lobs it out here, complete to the 30. Got inside the 30 to the 25 and dives on down to the 20-yard line. They sent Wine out of the backfield, and Stakely just hit him, and Fort Payne didn't have anybody there. It'll be another first down for Huntsville at the Fort Payne 20.
Anthony Thompson had a chance to bring him down shy of the first down and missed the tackle. And he falls forward and picks up the first down.
So that's the third first down in this drive for Huntsville. A 13-yard pass completion there to Wine. At the Fort Payne 20, going to give it up the middle to the fullback, and he got it maybe nothing. Fort Payne had all kind of white shirts in there to knock him down. Jonathan Dreyer was the first in there, but he had a lot of help there, Rod.
Again, it was Dawson in there on the tackle, helping out, as you mentioned, Dreyer, and once again, number 82 for the Wildcats in on the tackle.
I guess we'll give him a yard on that. They mark it just inside the 20 at the 19 with 8:19 to go in the first half. Fort Payne with a 14-0 lead. Huntsville will send Jerome Roberts to the far side of the field, and the wide out to the near side. They split their backs. Stakely is your quarterback, and John Stakely will wants to throw the ball back to pass. Being pressured now, and hit from behind and tackled behind. Good job there by Patrick Tate as he tackled him from behind at the 24-yard line.
Well, Larry, that was you've heard it said and said again, a talk about coverage tackles, and that's what that was. The Wildcats defensive backs doing an excellent job that time on the receivers for Huntsville, and a sack is the end result.
Loss of 4, back to the 24-yard line, and Huntsville will be third down and about 14 now as they send wide receivers left and right. Stakely, your quarterback, from the shotgun formation again. They've got to get it down to about the 11 for a first down. Stakely will get the ball on the little lob snap. He's trying to set the screen, and it's going to be dropped. He dropped the screen pass as they had that screen set up pretty well, it looked like, but Fort Payne did have a couple of players there.
He hit Matt Boyd on the pass, and he dropped it. I think if he'd caught it, he would have been well short of a first down. But now it forces them on a fourth down and 13 to go, so let's see what they'll do.
Ryan Hunt will be in to try a field goal. He'll put it down on the 30, a 40-yard field goal by Ryan Hunt, and he certainly has the distance from here. Stakely will hold it, and Ryan Hunt will try to stick up a 40-yard field goal. The snap is there. The kick is away. The kick is certainly long enough. The kick is good. A 40-yard field goal by Ryan Hunt makes the score now. Fort Payne 14, Huntsville 3. Back in 30 seconds on the Wildcats Sports Network. He was, and he hit a 40-yarder, and that would have been good from 50, 55 yards. Huntsville goes 12 plays, 52 yards. Kick a field goal. Fort Payne leads it 14-3.
Still, Coach Elmore and the defensive staff of the Wildcats going to have to be pleased that they only gave up a field goal on that particular possession.
Hunt will squirt this one into the end zone. Fort Payne will take over on the 20. I think you're right. It's 52 yards, and Fort Payne had a couple of chances there to stop them. They really only made a couple of plays in that drive. The one a little swing pass, and really about the only one run. That's about it in that drive. So here's Fort Payne from the 20. Would like to answer that field goal with some kind of score of their own. They lead it 14-3 with 7:07 to go in the opening half. Fort Payne will send Matt Hughes on the near side, Thomas Brandon on the far side, and they line up with Keith Owen on this near side tight end. I formation, gave it up the middle of McElrath. Elliot McElrath is going to got 6 yards, and there wasn't anything there. Elliot McElrath was hit right around the line of scrimmage and just kept fighting and got up to the 26-yard line.
Good job of Elliott breaking the tackle of Patrick Perez, one of those tackles Larry mentioned earlier. He just kept fighting and fighting. As you said, he made 6 yards out of what looked like would be nothing.
So Fort Payne was 2nd and 4. And they have that same formation. The wideouts left and right, the tight end lined up on the near side. Quarterback under is Daniel Thompson, and Daniel Thompson will run his option play. Gave it to McElrath again. And well, Daniel Thompson kept the ball himself. He
There's a
got
fumble
knocked
on the
down
play.
and fumbled the football. Huntsville has it. Well, Fort Payne's going to let Huntsville get back into this game, it looks like.
Well, you know, the problem we've had thus far all year on turnovers, we've been giving the ball to our opponents deep in our own territory, and we'll have to see now if Huntsville can take advantage of it.
Did you catch that number, the person who recovered that?
Couldn't see it, Larry. The way he got up, I could not make out the number.
So here is Huntsville at the Fort Payne 23-yard line. Fort Payne leads it 14-3, but Huntsville trying to score again after the Wildcat turnover. Stakely is your quarterback. Stakely will run his option play, gave it up the middle, and that will be Gary, and Gary got across the 20 down to the 18. Pretty good run on the first play there as they pounded it in there for about a 4-yard gain. Patrick Tate made the tackle for Fort Payne. So Gary will be at the 18 of Fort Payne. 6 minutes to go in the half. And Huntsville trying to take advantage of a Fort Payne turnover. Wide out left and right. Same formation for John Stakely. Split back. Stakely will run his go back fast. Gave it up the middle across the far side down to the 12-yard line. Will go Clark Wines this time. Wines right at that marker.
Good job of running by Wines as he jumped or leaped over the Wildcat defensive line and picked up the yardage on the play to bring up 3rd and 1.
Third down to the yard for the Huntsville Crimson Panthers with 5:20 to go in this opening half. And Fort Payne looked really good there, leading 14-0. Huntsville drove 52 yards. Fort Payne gave it right back to him on the fumble. Stakely will give it to Wine, and Wine is going to have his first down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for the Huntsville Crimson Panthers as Wine ran off that far side, picked up his first down just inside the 10. Don't think they can get a first down. So Fort Payne's defense going to be called on here.
A break for Fort Payne, it being just inside the 10, so they'll have 4 whacks at this, and if they don't get it in, can't get a first down.
Huntsville will send wide receivers to the left and the right. Stakely, your quarterback again. He has that split backfield in there behind him. And John Stakely will now give it to Gary. Gary is at the 10. Gary's at the 5, and Gary's tackled at the 5. Nothing fancy about that. Michael Gary just ran this near side behind blockers and got it down to the 5. Huntsville about to snatch momentum away from Fort Payne.
Good job by Patrick Tate there making the tackle, Larry. He had, as you said, he had momentum, and the whole game's about to change momentum if the Wildcats can't stiffen up here as they have the ball at the Fort Payne 5-yard line.
From the 5, 4:15 to go. Clock not a factor at all now. Double tight end formation for the Crimson Panthers. Stakely is your quarterback, and Stakely will give it to Gary again. Gary got outside, got to the 5, got shot down. Good job there by Fort Payne's defense as they came up to knock him down. Looked like Gary may score, but Fort Payne came up to chop him down after a yard gain.
That was Dryard Zane Hardinger coming up to make the tackle. It will bring up a 3rd and goal from just outside the 4-yard line.
Fort Payne's defense trying to stiffen up here and stop him. 3:40 to go. You would think maybe Coach Patterson certainly would like to have a touchdown, but a field goal, and then all they got to do is get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and they're tied again. In fact, to certainly get something out of this. Stakely is your quarterback, and Stakely will roll the pass, gave it up the middle, and fighting there is going to be Wine, and Wine is going to be to the 1. Good hard running by Clark Wine as he got it down to the 1-yard line. It'll be 4th down and a yard. Now what are they going to do?
Yeah, they'll go for it, Larry.
And inside the 1, the ball is almost nosed right into the goal line. So 4th down and about, looks like from here, about 6 inches to go for the touchdown. 2:57 to go, and here is Huntsville, the line of scrimmage, to go for it. Stakely is your quarterback. The wishbone set behind Stakely, and Huntsville jumped offside. Fort Payne made a mistake down here a little while ago. Now that big tight end jumped in there and jumped offsides, and that's a big play for Huntsville. Case Hollyfield, just a sophomore, made a mistake. So Hollyfield made the mistake there and jumped offsides. It'll be for Huntsville now 3rd down and 6. All of a sudden, the complexion of this drive changes. And who wants a timeout? Huntsville asked for and is granted a timeout with 2:47 to go. They'll have it 4th down and 5 when we come back, with Fort Payne leading 14-3 back in 30 seconds on the Wildcats Sports Network. Roger, Fort Payne had the ball down here a little earlier, jumped off sides, their tight end did. Fort Payne was able to overcome it, got a touchdown out of it. Now Huntsville has jumped off sides, their tight end does. And what are you going to do if you're Coach Greg Patterson? It's 4th and 5, you trail 14-3. They're going to go for it. As down here on the sideline, we see Ryan Hunt, and they're not sending him in, they're going for it.
I look for the quarterback to roll out, do some sort of option on the play. They've really not been picking up 2 or 3 yards on their rushing play, so let's see what happens.
Wishbone set on 4th and 5 from the 6-yard line. And here is Stakely, the quarterback. Stakely looks over that Wildcat defense, and John Stakely was in a man in motion to the far side. Stakely with a long count. He'll roll the pass. He throws. He has a man wide open. Overthrown. He had that fullback coming out of the backfield, and he was wide open.
That was also a pick play by Huntsville. That was a pick play. Crossing pattern by the guy in motion in the end.
That fullback who came out of there, Michael B. Gale, was all by himself, and Stakely really threw the ball too quickly, I think.
I believe Huntsville's been watching Arkansas games.
So they will now, Fort Payne will hold, and they'll get the ball. Fort Payne would like to drive this thing out of here and run the clock out with 2:43 to go. Double tight end formation. They're going to give it to Prater. Prater found the hole. Got to the 10, got to the 15. If he'd got by that one man, he'd have gone. He got it out to the 18-yard line and a Fort Payne first down. But he was one shoestring away from breaking that all the way. He got to the 18. 12-yard gain for Darrell Prater. And now Fort Payne with 2:35 to go. They have 2 timeouts left. Might want to think about doing something. Here is Fort Payne, 1st and 10. Clock is moving with 2:28 to go. And Daniel Thompson will run up the middle. He found McElrath, found a hole, got to the 25, to the 26 or 27. And here again, he was a half a step away from breaking.
And John Stakely, the quarterback, made the tackle for Huntsville, and that was a saving tackle. The Wildcats would have scored on the play.
8-yard gain for Elliott McElrath with 2 minutes to go in the quarter. And now Fort Payne might want to think about getting into some kind of hurry here and see if they can get a score out of this. A score here by Fort Payne might just break these Crimson Panthers' hearts. Fort Payne leads it 14-3, and this will be Daniel Thompson. Then will give it to Prater, and Darrell Prater is struggling and did not get his first down, I don't think. Got hit behind the line of scrimmage. He didn't get the benefit of a spot there, and it'll be 3rd down for Fort Payne. Fort Payne in a hurry to get back to the huddle now. And they're going to mark it at the 27. No gain.
Kenny Chadwick comes back into the game, Larry.
3rd and a yard for Fort Payne with 1:24 to go. Double tight end set for the Wildcats with Chadwick set on the slot on the far side. Daniel Thompson will run McElrath. He kept it himself, and man, McElrath, he got hit down. Didn't get a thing out of that. They tried to run that outside. Beard gave the ball to Elliott McElrath, and Fort Payne just forgot the block on that play. And now Huntsville will call a timeout.
Huntsville calls timeout. Say the Wildcats look like they were going to be happy to go in here at the half up 14-3, and Huntsville calls the timeout.
Good play by Huntsville to call a timeout. 57 seconds to go. The Crimson Panthers will get it back when we come back. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. Well, at worst, Fort Payne had a chance to run the clock out there. They had 2nd down in the yard. They ran Elliott McElrath twice and couldn't get a yard. Now they've got to punt the ball, and you remember what happened twice last week against Etowah. And Huntsville will have 9 players up there coming after Thomas Brandon. They got a good snap, and now they back off. They're going to return it, and Thomas Brandon got away another whistler. Look at that ball all the way back to the 30-yard line, and he's going to be tackled back there. Great kick by Thomas Brandon, and Huntsville will be at the 29-yard line.
Josh Miller scurrying downfield. He's the one that, I believe, snapped the ball, and Josh hurries down the field and makes the tackle on another great punt there by Thomas Brandon. 46-yard punt there by Thomas Brandon. The
Thomas Brandon has had a 52-yarder and a 46-yarder. And Huntsville will be set up with less than 45 seconds to go, and I would think they're probably just going to be content to run the clock out here. Staley is your quarterback. Staley has he's going to roll back the pass. He throws it to the near side. It's going to be complete, and down he goes at the 34-yard line. That was not Staley in their quarterback. That was a new quarterback, and that was Michael DeLille, the junior, 6'1", 173 pounds. Pass up to the 36-yard line, 8-yard gain. And DeLille is still in there, quarterback, with 20 seconds to go. The clock is moving. DeLille will roll the pass again. He throws it to a wide open man at the 40, a 45, and is going to be in bounds at the 48-yard line. But DeLille has come in and completed a couple of passes with 9 seconds to go. So they up to the 46, 10-yard pass there. They passed twice for 18 yards, DeLille has, but there's only 9 seconds to go. The clock is running. DeLille is under the center now. And DeLille will roll back the pass, just throws it into the ground to stop the clock with 1 second to go. So DeLille goes pass incomplete.
Wow, I don't quite get the reasoning behind that, Larry.
Well, maybe they wanted to set up something, and now they call their last timeout. So timeout on the field. Huntsville has burned their last timeout with 1 second to go. Fort Payne leads it by a score of 14-3. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Wildcats Sports Network. Well, Huntsville will have one more crack at it with 1 second to go, and they've got to go 48 yards for the touchdown. And they've got that flinger in there, Matthew DeLille, a 6'1", 173-pound senior. And I guess he's probably just going to go to the shotgun and throw it as far as he can throw it. Fort Payne, look at Josh Miller. He's all the way back to the 20-yard line. DeLille will get under the center. 1 second to go. Fort Payne with a 14-3 lead. And now DeLille has twin receivers to the near side. He'll roll to this near side. Being pressured, and down he goes. As Fort Payne broke through there, Dreyer was there along with Patrick Tate. And McLean to knock him down all the way back at the 40-yard line. So the first half comes to an end with Fort Payne leading by a score of 14-3. We'll be back in 2 minutes on the Wildcats Sports Network. Back in 2 minutes. Back here at Joe Davis Stadium with Fort Payne leading by a score of 14-3. Ronnie, Fort Payne got off to a good start, but kind of slacked off a little there in that second quarter.
Yeah, Larry, let's take a quick look at the first half stats. First downs, we're even now. Fort Payne with 5, Huntsville with 5. Rushing yardage, Fort Payne way out in front of Huntsville. Fort Payne on the ground in the first half, 135 yards. Huntsville just 37 in the air. 38 for Fort Payne, 26 for Huntsville. Total yardage, Fort Payne Wildcats got 173 yards as opposed to 63 for Huntsville.
Fort Payne only has that one pass completion, but Roger, you get the impression Fort Payne can throw the ball on Huntsville about any time they want to.
Well, I think we only, tried the one pass, and it was complete for the touchdown. So you have to feel like after the first quarter, Coach Elmore kind of have gone a little bit into a shell, not wanting to do anything that's more than really necessary to win the game, not risk anyone getting injured, and not showing any more than have to. And once again, as you mentioned, also the Huntsville coach, a good friend of his.
So Fort Payne and Huntsville about ready to get this second half underway. The Huntsville band just now leaving, so we're still a ways away from the start of this second half. Let's go ahead and take a 1-minute break. We'll be back in 1 minute with the score at halftime. Fort Payne 14 and Huntsville 3. Back in 1 minute on the Wildcats Sports Network. They deferred to the second half. So for the third time tonight, Patrick Tate will tee it up from the 40-yard line. With the Wildcats, the Fighting Wildcats, leading by a score of 14-3. And the Fighting Huntsville Crimson Panthers have got a ways to come back. Fort Payne, Huntsville had a chance to get right back in the game, had a fourth down in less than a yard down on Fort Payne's goal line. Tight end jumped off sides. They penalized 5 yards, elected to go for it on fourth down. Had a receiver, Michael Begale, all by himself in the end zone, and the quarterback, John Stickley, just overthrew him. So Fort Payne got a break there, and that's the way it stands. Could very well have been 14-10, 14-11, but Fort Payne leads it 14-3. So Patrick Tate is ready to kick it away again for Fort Payne. The officials have all gathered in midfield. I don't know what they're talking about. They're having some kind of conversation. The clock, I guess, waiting on the clock to run down. still has about 45 seconds to go to get down there. Jerome Roberts will be the deep man in the middle for Huntsville as we will eventually, I think, get this game underway. So now the officials break off, and we're about ready to go. Roberts will be the middleman down on the right side there. Patrick Tate lines up, and he's got the ball on the hash mark on this near side. Looked like he's going to try to kick the ball across to the far side to Aaron Barnes, and they've kicked off 3 times, and once he went out of bounds, the other time he did succeed in kicking it to Barnes, so it looked like he's angling to the far side of the field. So I think we're about ready to go now. The clock has been reset to 12 minutes, and here we go, waiting on the referee's signal. And there it is, and we're ready to go as Patrick Tate will approach the football, and Fort Payne's way offside. Look on that far sideline over there, and Fort Payne had a guy that was 5 yards offside, and that was Justin Garmany, and Justin was in a hurry to get down there. So now they're going to penalize Fort Payne back to the 35-yard line. But that happened right there in front of the Fort Payne bench, and Fort Payne coaching staff not real pleased about that, are they? It'll be back to the 35-yard line now. Patrick Tate will kick it away. And now, Huntsville receivers come up to about the 15. I'd just like to see Patrick just try to knock it in the end zone here now. I guess they're trying to pin that receiver in the corner on the far side. It'll be from the 35-yard line, and Patrick Tate will once again wait on the referee's signal. Here we go. Got his foot into this one and knocked it to that corner over there, but it's a very short kick to the 20. 25 up to the 30-yard line, and all up to the 35. Huntsville's going to have great field position just short of the 35. So trying to pin him into the corner didn't really work, and Huntsville's Aaron Barnes ran it out to the 35-yard line. So Huntsville, great position starting the second half. Crimson Panthers will get it to the line of scrimmage, and let's see who's in there quarterback for Huntsville. Let's see Stakely. So they have Stakely and Wine and Gary in that backfield again. So the same starting lineup with White out to left and right. Stakely is your quarterback, and John Stakely will run a long count, and he'll run to the near side, gave it off, and there's Fort Payne to knock him down right around the line of scrimmage. And that was Michael Gary, and he got drilled down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there, Raj.
Right, a good play for the Wildcats. Making the tackle was number 58, who's none other than Joshua Clay.
Well, they say public address announcer is going to give him one, but that's very. He got from one side of the 35 to the other side, so I guess we'll give him a yard. Second down and 9 for Huntsville. They send twin receivers to the near side now, and Fort Payne drops a couple of defenders over here to guard him, and they send the man in motion to the far side, going to run his option play to the far side, and he's going to keep it, and got about 4 yards, and really got knocked down there by Fort Payne. Fort Payne had 2 or 3 white shirts in there to knock him down. After about a 3 or 4 yard gain, it'll be third down.
Stakely really didn't look very good running that play. He wasn't very smooth at all, and really looked kind of unsure what he was going to do with the ball, so it brings up a big 3rd and 5 for Huntsville.
4-yard gain for Stakely there as Colin Dawson, along with a lot of other Fort Payne players, they've got to get to the 45 for the first down, so it's right at 5 yards to go. And this will be Stakely, your quarterback, and Stakely will run his reverse to the near side, and he's going to be in trouble, and he's going to be tackled right around the line of scrimmage. Fort Payne did a great job. Colin Dawson was the one who turned that play back in, and then Fort Payne's Josh McClain, with a lot of help, came and then knocked him down. They tried to run the reverse, Miguel, and he got knocked down there, right?
I think Jay Durham also finished off with a tackle on the play, and we'll have to see Huntsville punt the ball away, going back deep for the Wildcats, Darryl Prater.
So Prater will stand around his own 35. This will be our first chance tonight to see Ryan Hunt punt the ball. Second chance to see it. He punted early in the game, and he'll kick it around from around his own 33 or 34 yard line. Fort Payne has 10 men up on the line of scrimmage. They may be coming after him. A high snap, and here they come, and I almost got him. And he got away a great kick that Prater's going to let bounce, and it bounces inside the 15, inside the 10, and on down to the 6-yard line. That's a great kick there by Ryan Hunt. The Fort Payne. That's a great kick there.
That's about a 50-yard punt, I believe.
So it'll be Fort Payne's ball on the, well, they're going to mark him right at the 5-yard line.
Darrell almost made a mistake at the 10 and almost started. If that's not a double negative, whatever. But anyway, he almost picked the ball up at the 10. I think might not have held on to it.
54-yard kick, actually. The Fort Payne in the hole from their own 5-yard line. They have wide receivers on the near side, and they're going to run Darrell Prater. And Darrell Prater fumbled the ball, picked up and went in for the touchdown. Fort Payne, Darrell Prater just dropped the ball, and Michael Miguel picked it up and ran it into the end zone. And Huntsville is right back in this game. Well, not what you expected Fort Payne to do on the opening drive, the second half there.
Well, at least they took away the mystery whether they'd be able to convert the turnover into points.
Yep. Well, let's see. Are they going to go for 1 or 2? I think they're going to go for 2. They're going to go for 2, I think. They're going to go for 2. They trail 14-9, and Fort Payne's had every chance in the world to put this team away, and now they're in a dogfight. Wideouts left and right. They wishbone set. Let's see if they run that same play they messed up a little while ago. And they are going to send the man in motion back to the near side again. Going to throw it out here, and it's going to be batted down and incomplete.
Good job by Jonathan Dreyer, Larry. You have to think, though, the quarterback looked at his receiver, who is number 12, coming to the near side, Michael Miguel. Looked at him the whole way, so really not much mystery on what he was going to do or who he was going to throw to. And a good job by Dreyer sticking with him.
So Huntsville makes it 14-9, and they get back in the ball game. So let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. We'll be back in 30 seconds. The score, Huntsville 14. Let's go ahead and keep it right here. We've killed enough time here. We'll go ahead and keep it right here. The score is Fort Payne 14, Huntsville 9. But, man, this thing is turned around in a hurry. Fort Payne's going to need to do something on this drive. They looked so good the first 2 times they got the ball, and now all of a sudden, as you mentioned at halftime, they've gone into a shell, and they're in danger of losing a game that they certainly should have been out in front of a long time ago, well out. Now he's going to kick the ball. It's going to be into the end zone, and Fort Payne's going to start on the 20. And Huntsville, with all the momentum and the crowd on their side now, Fort Payne, Huntsville is not one of their better teams, but Coach Patterson is an excellent coach. He's got this team well prepared. The only loss they've had was that 1917 loss to Bob Jones, where they missed a field goal on the last play of the game, and it's really a controversial field goal. One official signaled good, the other official signaled no good, so they could very well be 4-0. And here is Fort Payne now with the I formation again. Slot man on the far side, double tight end, going to run McElrath, and Elliott's going to fight for about 2 yards, and Fort Payne is bound and determined to run that ball at the heart of the Huntsville defense, and Huntsville have stopped them the last few plays. But Elliott picked up 2 yards in there. Fort Payne. Our tight end has just become non-existent in our offense.
Yeah, over the last 2 or 3 games, we really haven't used it very much at all.
Caught a couple last week against Etowah, but they won a couple of games there where we just forgot about them. Wide out left and right now on a 2nd down and 7. And Daniel Thompson will roll to the near side to pass it. He's going to keep it to the 20. He's trying to get out. Got a great block at the 30-yard line, and Fort Payne's going to have their first down. That was Keith Owen, and he just wiped out one of those Huntsville defenders and allowed Daniel Thompson to get a first down.
And I believe Daniel Thompson is down hurt, Larry.
So Daniel Thompson down into 33. While they work on Daniel, we'll go ahead and take a break. I think he's all right. They're going to come across and work on him. He's down. Fort Payne will have a first down at the 34 when we come back with Fort Payne leading it 14-9 back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. Daniel Thompson still down on the field. It's not a knee or anything. I think he may have just gotten breath knocked out of him, or are they working on his shoulder there? The Huntsville coaching staff also out there helping out, and they're working on, I'm not sure what they're working on. His head, neck.
Looks lower down, like maybe rib.
I don't know. But they're continuing to work on Daniel Thompson. Fort Payne team has gone across the sideline over there to meet with the coaching staff. The Huntsville team is on this near side. And so let's go ahead and see what they're going to do with Daniel here. There's a lot of people in our way, and we have a hard time seeing exactly what they're working on. I don't know if they're working on his shoulder, but obviously he's moved his feet, so it's not maybe a neck injury there. They may be going to bring the ambulance across the way. I think they are going to bring the ambulance across the way, and just a precautionary measure. But you don't think it's anything serious just from what you saw there, Roger, because he was moving around, rolling around on the ground, and if it's a serious neck injury, you wouldn't.
He's moving his arms and his hands around too. And as you said, he did stand up.
Of course, nowadays they take every precaution. You see, I think that's one of the Huntsville trainers they were one of the first guys down there, and he has stabilized his neck ever since Daniel had been down. But you said it doesn't look too serious, but they do take every kind of precaution. Of course, Coach Colburn's down there checking him out.
Ambulance across the way is going to come out here, and I think they're going to go ahead and just take him to the hospital and get him checked out. So let's go ahead and take a pause here. We'll be back in 2 minutes with the score: Fort Payne 14, Huntsville 9. Back in 2 minutes on the Wildcat Sports Network. Well, they're really being cautious with Daniel Thompson, and here another good sign. They've taken his helmet off, they've taken his jersey off, so you certainly would think that if they had any idea that it was a serious injury of any kind, they wouldn't be doing that. But
shoulder pads are off too.
Yep.
So they've moved him around quite a bit, up shoulders, neck, and torso.
So they're still getting him ready to take off to the hospital, and it'll be, I'd say, probably another 2 or 3 minutes before we can get back underway.
Looks like now they're taping his head to the stretcher. Actually, it's the board they lay him on. They hadn't put him up on the stretcher yet, so they're taping his head where it won't move.
Just to give you an idea, Daniel Thompson ran the little run-pass option play out to this near side and gained 10 yards, got hit down right there in front of the Huntsville bench. Actually got up to his feet and then fell over, and his hands and arms are moving. But I think he got his neck jammed, so they're not going to take any chances. They're going to load him up and get him out to the hospital and get him checked out. Fort Payne leading at 14-9, but their concern right now is for their quarterback, Daniel Thompson, and now they're ready to load him up and get him up on the stretcher and get him out of here. Coach Patterson has been out there the entire time with Coach Elmore. Now the crowd giving Daniel Thompson a big hand here as they get him up, get him ready to, I guess they'll take him to the Huntsville Hospital down here and have him checked out before they do anything with him. Get his neck stabilized.
Just before they put him on the stretcher there, of course, Coach Colburn was there, so Daniel stick his hand up and shake hands with Coach Colburn. And
Daniel talking to the team there,
yeah,
so
yeah.
He seemed to be fine, and some of the players coming over to shake hands with Daniel. So you would think that this is precautionary at worst. Just hopefully we'll get a word on this before we sign off tonight. But I think everybody's optimistic about this injury. They're just not going to take any chances. Anytime you have a head or neck injury, they just don't take any chances at all. Fort Payne lost their quarterback in a close game, and Kenny Chadwick will come in there to run the offense now for Fort Payne. And very adequate backup. These two, Roger, we haven't seen very much of Kenny Chadwick this year, but during fall practice, Kenny Chadwick and Daniel Thompson were really battling head-to-head for that starting job, and now we're going to get a chance to see Kenny Chadwick in there at the quarterback position.
And I know Kenny, and I know he will not be lacking for confidence as he comes into the game. I know he's prepared, and as you said, they were in a battle to see who would be the quarterback, so Chadwick is in and play is back in session.
Fort Payne will get in, move up to the line of scrimmage with a double tight end formation, wide outs left and right. First and 10 from their own 33 with 8:34 to go in the third quarter. Huntsville going to charge up on that line of scrimmage and try to test Kenny Chadwick right away. Chadwick will pitch the ball, and bad pitch. And Prater had to go back and get that ball and got knocked out right around the line of scrimmage. You're going to have to throw the ball to get to beat Huntsville now, it looks like. They are really, really aggressive. They're coming after the ball, and Darrell Prater got hit behind the line of scrimmage and lost about 3 yards on the play.
Well, when you've only thrown one pass in the course of the whole game, the defense can start teeing off on the run, and that's exactly what Huntsville is doing. So like you, Larry, I think Fort Payne's going to have to at least throw a little bit to try to loosen up the defense now.
Might be the perfect time to throw because they certainly wouldn't expect Fort Payne's backup quarterback to come in throwing the ball. Huntsville's linebacker is very active. Fort Payne's going to run the option. Chadwick kept it himself and got across the 35 up to about the 38. And it'll be third down now for Fort Payne and about 5. But Kenny Chadwick ran that option play off to the far side and kept it. Got to the 39-yard line. 8-yard gain. But it'll be third down and about 4.
Kenny Chadwick showing a little quickness there, Larry. You know, actually, he might have a little more. I don't think he has quite the speed as Daniel Thompson, but maybe Kenny is a little quicker, and you can see it on the option as he kept the ball and picked up the yardage on the play.
This is a big play. Fort Payne does not need to give this ball back to Huntsville as fired up as they are, and they're going to run the back to pass. Chadwick has a man wide open. He throws. It's going to be complete down here to the 30-yard line. Matt Hughes down to the 26. And Huntsville was not expecting that. If Matt Hughes, they had to throw the ball, he threw it a little short or he'd have been gone.
Oh, yeah, Matt had the nearest guy beaten by about 10 yards, and if Kenny had been able to get it to him just a hair sooner, he would have scored.
So they mark it all the way down to the Huntsville 28-yard line. How far was that gain there, Ronnie?
36-yard pickup and a big first down. As you said, that's a big, big play, and 7:26 in this third quarter.
Fort Payne leads it 14-9, and Chadwick is in there quarterback with double tight end. Thomas Brandon to the near side. And Kenny Chadwick will pitch the ball to the far side to Prater, cut it inside, and a penalty play got down to the 25. That flag came flying from down around University Boulevard, and Fort Payne is going to be penalized 10 yards for holding. So Fort Payne made another mistake. Going to have to throw the ball, though, I would think, to loosen up this Huntsville defense. They're bringing everybody. Fort Payne has thrown the ball 2 times. They've completed 2 passes, and both times, one of them for a touchdown. The other one would have been for a touchdown if Chadwick would have thrown it a little harder. They penalized Fort Payne back to the 35. So here comes Fort Payne now, first down and about 17. Huntsville still crowding that line of scrimmage and going to run Prater, and Prater's going to battle back to the line of scrimmage and got a yard.
That play, Larry, just takes too much time to run. Every time the quarterback does a fake in the backfield, turns around all the way to the other side and hands it off to one of the backs. By that time, the Huntsville defense have pursued the runner, and it just takes too long for that play to develop.
Especially a defense like Huntsville is aggressive on against the run as they are. They're crowding that line of scrimmage, and they don't really think Fort Payne is going to throw it. 6:29 to go in the third quarter, and Fort Payne will send Alex Zygo to the near side, line him up in the slot on this near side, go to the double tight end formation, and Chadwick will run his option play, pitch to Prater. Prater got to the 35, got to the 30, out to the far side, and got down close to the first down marker, down around the 22. That was a well-executed play.
I think we got away with a clip about the 30-yard line, Larry, so good thing the official didn't see that.
It'll be at the 20, where they going to mark it, the 23? Fort Payne faces another third down play. At the 23, that will be a 9-yard gain, 11-yard gain. So here's the big third down play for Fort Payne. They've got to get it to the 18 for a first down. Double tight end set again with the slot man on the near side. He's going to run his option play, gave it to McElrath, and he didn't get it. Did not get it. He got hit right at the line of scrimmage, and now what are you going to do? 5:30 to go. Elliot McElrath got drilled down right as he got it. Fort Payne will go for the long distance field goal.
So Josh Miller will come in and attempt the field goal, and we've said it numerous times throughout this year, we probably have one of the best kicking games in the state of Alabama. And Josh will place the tee down at the 29, so it'll be a 39-yard field goal.
39-yard field goal. They rush Elliot McElrath into the last minute. Matt Hughes will now have to hold it. Snap is there. The kick is away. The kick is no good. No good. He didn't hit that one real well. and hit it off to the left and went under the goal post.
Now, I don't think the hold was exactly what was normal. As you said, Daniel gone, and he's the normal holder, Daniel Thompson, and the hold just wasn't there, and it was close.
Kicked it just under the bar, so Huntsville will set up with a chance to take the lead with 4:56 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne drove the ball down the field but couldn't get anything out of it. Now here will be Huntsville. They have Stakely in their quarterback, split receivers, slot man on the near side, wide out to the left and right. The quarterback under is Stakely, is then in man in motion back to the near side, pitching to the coming to the near side. He's going to be across the 20 and going to be up to the 24-yard line. They ran Michael Geary in there, and he got a couple of yards up to the 24-yard line. Actually got about 4 yards out of the play.
Josh Miller, Patrick Tate on the tackle, along with Zane Hardinger.
4:29 to go. Fort Payne, many times have you seen Fort Payne come out and get a couple of quick touchdowns? They just got it so easily, and then from then on, everything becomes hard for Fort Payne. It scored 2 touchdowns the first quarter and looked good. I set, going to run the option play to the far side. Staley hit down right there at the line of scrimmage. May have been hit behind the line of scrimmage. He was hit, certainly didn't gain anything, but Fort Payne did a great job of knocking that quarterback, John Staley down right at the line of scrimmage.
I just don't think he runs that very well. He just don't, he just doesn't look real smooth when he keeps on that particular play.
Third down and 5 for Huntsville. They've got to get to the 30 for a first down with 3:43 to go in the third quarter. Fort Payne hanging on to a 14-9 lead. Wide outs to both sides of the field. They put a slot man on the far side. Stakely is your quarterback, and Stakely will roll the pass. Stakely whipped it out to the far side. Had a man wide open and threw it right through his hand. Incomplete. So Fort Payne has stopped, and Huntsville will be forced to throw the ball, but they had a man open over there for the first down.
Yes, it would have been a first down. He would have caught it around the 33-yard line. Number 47, Cameron Kennedy, was there on defense, but they'll have to punt.
Have to kick the ball away, and this will be Ryan Hunt to stand around. He'll kick it from about his own 15-yard line. Fort Payne has twin receivers back around the 40. Hunt has put on a kicking exhibition. He and Patrick Thomas Brandon both have. This kick is away, a long, wobbly kick that is going to be caught by Darrell Pretter, and down he goes right at the 40.
Darrell bobbled the ball, and lucky he didn't fumble it. He was tackled just about immediately after getting the ball in his possession. So the Wildcats will have it pretty good field position, though, at their own 40-yard line.
46-yard punt by Ryan Hunt. They'll mark it right at the 40. So Fort Payne will have the ball again. You would think one more touchdown might do it against this Huntsville team. You don't think they're going to break one, but they're going to have to drive down the field. They're not going to be able to break one on them, you don't think, do you?
They haven't shown me anyone with the speed to break a long run yet.
Fort Payne leads it 14-9, 4-point lead. They send Thomas Brandon on the near side. They put Matt Hughes in the slot on the far side and run their option play, counter option. And Chadwick going to keep the ball. Chadwick couldn't get outside. If he got outside, he might have picked up some more yards, but he did pick up maybe a yard. They mark him back at the 41, so Kenny Chadwick picked up a yard on that play.
Matt Connick made the tackle for Huntsville.
Is it just me, or is this turned into a boring game?
It's been that way since the first quarter, I think.
We could have come down here for the first quarter and gone out to one of these fine restaurants and eaten and seen a good game, couldn't you? Payne hadn't done much since that first quarter, offensively, that is. 2nd and 9 for Fort Payne. Kenny Chadwick will run. Kept it himself, going to the near side. He run past option, kept it in the 40, 45, 50, and it's going to be across the 50 to the 49-yard. And look at the flag, 15 yards behind the play. Fort Payne may be penalized on a flag that was thrown at least 15 yards behind the play. Clipping against Fort Payne.
Boy, and Chadwick had already ran well past the point. Flag's laying at the 41. Chadwick was knocked out of bounds at the Huntsville 47, so not a wise decision by whoever will be called for this penalty.
Man, and Chadwick had broken clear, and not any reason for that at all. Clipping him will be that's going to kill Fort Payne. All the way back to the 26-yard line. Payne. Second down now. Well, this game has turned around. Fort Payne got to get to midfield for a first down. Ball's at the 26. Clock is running with 2:21 to go. Kenny Chadwick is your quarterback, and he'll run his fullback. McElrath found a hole, got to pick up about across the 30 to the 35 to the 37. Pick up about 12 yards on the play, but still a long way to go for the first down on third down. Still third and 12. Up to the 37.
Actually got the nose on the 38.
Got to get to the midfield, so about 13 more yards to go for a first down with a minute 50 to go. And this will be Kenny Chadwick to the line of scrimmage. Huntsville has 10 guys up in the box. Look at that. They got 10 guys on the line of scrimmage. And Chadwick is going to roll the pass. He's going to set the screen to the far side. He has blockers. This will be Prater at the 40, 45. Pulled down from behind before he could get to the first down marker. Kenny Chadwick had blockers out in front of him, and they had that screen set up beautifully, and somebody made a tackle just before he got to the first down marker. It's going to be a yard or so short.
I think it was number 58, Kevin Drake, for Huntsville, making the tackle. And I guess we'll see Thomas Brandon into the game to punt the ball away.
Yep. Picked up 11, needed 13. And I guess if you ever had a fake in your arsenal, this might be the time to do it. So here is Thomas to kick it away, we think. Got his snap. Got away a good, look at that kick. He got away a whistler that's going to be caught back on the 5-yard line, and down he goes at the 8-yard line. What a kick and what a tackle down there. Who made that tackle?
That was David Richardson making the tackle.
And that'll be a 52-yard kick for Thomas Brandon. We've seen a punting exhibition tonight. It'll be Huntsville's ball at the, what are they marking, right at the 10?
Right on the 10.
37 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Huntsville, I don't think they're going to be able to spring one for 90 yards. They might drive it. Now they've got that other quarterback in there. They've got their thrower in there, Matthew DeLilly in there, quarterback now. And DeLilly will run it up the middle, gave it to his fullback, and he got across the 10 to the 12. That was Michael Gary. So Gary picked up a couple of yards on this left side, bring up second down. That may or may not have been the last play of the quarter. With 20 seconds to go, I think it's probably going to be the last play. Clock is just now been whistled into action by the referee, so Huntsville does not have to run off another play. We're down to 7 seconds to go, down to 5 seconds, and I think he's going to let the clock run out. That will be the end of the third quarter. At the end of 3 quarters, Fort Payne leads Huntsville by a score of 14-9. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Wildcats Sports Network. 14-9 lead. In case you joined us late, Fort Payne, the first 2 times they touched the ball, looked very impressive in driving right down the field, took a 14-0 lead, and gave up a field goal to Huntsville. Then Fort Payne, the first time they touched the ball in the second half, Darrell Prater dropped the football, and it was picked up by Michael DeBigale, who ran 5 yards for the touchdown. The try for 2 was no good. That's the way it stands. And Huntsville will now face second down and 7 from their own 13-yard line. But neither team doing much on offense since that opening quarter. Fort Payne's quarterback Daniel Thompson was injured in the third quarter and was taken to the hospital. And some kind of neck injury, as we mentioned a couple of times during the game, didn't look bad. Now they're going to run an option play off to the far side and gave it away to Gale, and he got up to about the 17. It'll be third down and about 3 for the Huntsville Crimson Panthers. So Huntsville faced with a third down possession play. It's actually going to be a little more than 3, about third down and 4. That's the 17-yard line. So here's Huntsville, got to get to the 20 for a first down. Stop them here. I get the ball back in good field position, but the way Ryan Hunt's been punting the ball, Not going to get it across midfield, you don't think. Here's the possession down. Going to give it up the middle, and he's going to have his first down. They gave it to Gale, and he got it across the 20 for a first down.
Good job of blocking there by Huntsville, number 66. John Markow making the lead block on the play along with number 50. And I don't have his name here, but anyway, they pick up the first down. The Wildcats let them out of a hole.
So it'll be nose just across the 20 with a new set of downs for Huntsville with 11:07 to go in the game. Fort Payne 14, Huntsville 9. Wide out left and right with a split backfield for John Stakely. Well, Stakely's not in there. It's Big Gale in there. He's going to throw the ball, throws it out here, going to be complete to the 25, up to the 30-yard line, and tackle down there at the 32-yard line. That was that big tight end, Michael Bigale, and just threw it out there and picked up about 12 yards, and here comes Huntsville. Up to the 32, a 12-yard gain. And Huntsville will be in business with 10:47 to go in the game. Nothing fancy about that pass.
No, that's about the third time I think they've completed that pass tonight. It's worked each time.
They just line Big Gale up in the backfield. He runs right at an angle, and they just kind of flip the ball out there to him. Going to run out there to Gary. Gary's going to break a tackle to the 40, 45, cut it inside to the 30, down this near sideline to the 40, 30, 25. Knocked down from behind at the 20-yard line. And that was Clark Wine. And he didn't look like he was running very fast at all, but he got some blocks down this near side. Fort Payne missed a couple of tackles, and Roger, here is Huntsville trying to take the lead against Fort Payne.
Well, finally, Cameron Kennedy chased him down at the 20. And Larry, ever since those first two possessions, we've been kind of lackadaisical, and it's about to catch up with us as they have that first down now at the Fort Payne 20.
48-yard run for Clark Wine, and Huntsville about to take the lead, it looks like. This is Matthew DeLille in their quarterback, and DeLille will run it up the middle to Gary, and Gary dove into the 18. Michael Gary just jumped it right into the 18, and Huntsville has second down and 8.
Jermaine Jackson in on the tackle for the Wildcats as they held him to only a 2-yard gain.
We said we didn't think Huntsville could go all the way, had a player that could take it all the way, and all of a sudden Clark Wine rambled for 48 yards, but he still didn't look like he could run 48 yards, did he?
It wasn't because of speed.
Here's second and 8, and the split backfield going to run Gary to the far side. He found a hole, 15, and down to the 10-yard line, inside the 10.
That was a fumble
and
ball.
Fumble, who has it?
Fort Payne has it, I believe.
Let's see.
They fumbled the ball, clearly.
They did fumble the ball. Fort Payne has
Fort Payne has it.
Yes.
The Fort Payne had a late call. They didn't want to call that, but they did as they fumbled it at the 8-yard line. The ball popped loose, and Fort Payne fell off to give it Fort Payne at the 10.
I don't see why it took the officials that long to call it. It was a clear fumble. He went on the ground. The ball came out before he hit the ground.
We see who recovered for Fort Payne.
Couldn't quite catch it, Larry.
Well, if Fort Payne is ever going to have another drive tonight, they need to do it right now. 9:28 to go. They've just dodged a major bullet as Huntsville fumbled at the 10-yard line, and now Fort Payne, leading 14-9, is going to have to do something. Now they're going to give it to Darrell Prater, and he's got 4 yards. Went across the pile from the 10 to the 14. So a 4-yard gain for Darrell Prater. 9:15 to go. Fort Payne shuffling players in and out. But
maybe we should get a pass out here again.
here's Thomas Brandon to the near side and Matt Hughes to the far side. The eye set again for the quarterback Chadwick, and Chadwick's going to run Elliott McElrath. Oh, he fumbled the football. The ball's in the end zone, and Huntsville has it and a touchdown. Well, he tried to run the pitch. Chadwick tried to run the pitch. Pitched the ball wide of Darrell Prater, and Huntsville has scored.
Well, really, Darrell was already knocked to the ground.
They'd already tackled Darrell in the backfield.
Darrell when Kenny Chadwick let the ball go.
Looks like Huntsville read that play to the team, the defense.
We know who got that?
I couldn't see, Larry. Again, it was in the far corner over there, and this glass is a little wavy we're looking through, and I could not see the number who it was.
Huntsville has scored 2 touchdowns tonight. Both of them, they've recovered Fort Payne fumbles in the end zone. They lead it now 15-14. They'll go for 2. Staley is in there, quarterback, and Staley will run up the middle, going to throw the ball to the near side. He kept it himself, and his tackle, and fumbled the ball forward, and they can't give him a
That's
a forward pass. Yeah. Illegal forward pass. He tried to fumble the ball forward into the end zone. A smart play there by Staley, but Huntsville has taken the lead as they recover a fumble with 8:42 to go, and the 2-point conversion failed, but Huntsville leads 15-14. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Wildcats Sports Network. We think it was Nick Sneed who recovered that fumble for Huntsville, the linebacker. Huntsville leads it 15-14, and Fort Payne is going to have a hard time recovering from this one if they don't rally back and win it. Here's the kick, and it's going to go down to Prater at the 5. Darryl Prater at the 5. Darryl Prater up the near sideline. He's going to be tackled. He got away from a guy and got to the 28. Good run by Darryl Prater. Plenty of time to go. 8:38 to go in this game. And Fort Payne has all 3 of their timeouts left, but they're not going to be able to run the ball down the field. Huntsville's packing 9-10 players in there.
Well, let's give Kenny Chadwick a little break on that play earlier, Larry. This is the first time, really, that he's seen very much action in a game this year. And, you know, it's hard when Daniel Thompson went out of the game. He had to come in cold. So, you know, let's give Kenny a little break on the play.
Thomas Brandon to the near side. They go with a they go with single tight end. He's throwing on the far side. They put a slot man on there. Going to pitch the ball to Prater, and Prater's going to be hit in the backfield and fought his way somehow across the 30 to the 31. Somehow he got 2 yards out of that. Huntsville was in the backfield by the time he got the ball, and he still managed somehow to get a couple of yards out of it. At the 32.
You just think the way Huntsville is shooting through that line, some type of screen pass, quick pop pass will have to work. But
we have thrown to our tight end tonight. 8:10 to go. Clock is moving. 2nd and 8 for Fort Payne. And Huntsville gaining confidence with every play. Going to run up fullback this time. He found the hole, got to the 40, got across the 45, and got up near midfield, Elliott McElrath. They ran Elliott McElrath, and he ran it all the way to the 49-yard line, a 17-yard gallop by Elliott McElrath.
Larry, one thing we are getting tonight is good individual effort out of people like Darryl Prater and number 5, Elliott McElrath.
Running the ball hard tonight.
7:53 to go. We've had 3 turnovers. 2 of them led directly to touchdowns for Huntsville. Now Elliott McElrath has a shoulder pad that needs to be repaired, and getting a lot of help there. Darryl Prater stepped in there to help, and now the referee stepped in to help him, and we're ready to go. Fort Payne near midfield with 7:14 to go. They have a double tight end formation this time with a slot man on the far side. 9 men on the line of scrimmage. Option play to McElrath, and he got maybe a half a yard.
Absolutely.
Just keep stacking those red shirts up there on the line, and Fort Payne keeps trying to run against it.
There was no place to go on the play, Larry. As soon as the ball was snapped, Patrick Perez came in, filled the hole, and he picks up 1 yard, and the Wildcats desperately need to do something on this possession as they now trail 15-14.
7:14 to go in the game. Huntsville 15, Fort Payne 14. Thomas Brandon to the near side, and he draws single coverage over here, and that defender is right up in his face. And he'll run the Prater, and he jumped across it, found a hole at the 40, down this near sideline, 35-30. He's going to go all the way for the touchdown. Darryl Prater took it all the way. He jumped over a tackler, and then cut to the outside and took it 51 yards for the touchdown.
And a great block provided by the official at the 40-yard line allowed Darryl to get it by the last man that could stop him.
So Darryl Prater goes 51 yards. Fort Payne takes it 71 yards in 1, 2, 3, 4 plays, and Fort Payne leads it 20-15. And I guess 1 or 2 doesn't really make a whole lot of difference here. And now Fort Payne calls the timeout to see what they're going to do. Fort Payne calls timeout with 6:52 to go in the game. Fort Payne now leads it 20-15. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Wildcats Sports Network. Darryl Prater rambles 51 yards, and Fort Payne called the timeout. They're going to go for 2. They lead by 5. So they're going to go for 2 here with 6:52 to go. And a 7-point lead would force Huntsville to do something they haven't been able to do themselves tonight, score a touchdown. They've scored 2, but both of them came as a result of Fort Payne fumble. Fort Payne fumbled it, they picked it up, went 5 yards. Fort Payne fumbled it in the end zone, they recovered it for a touchdown. So now Fort Payne will go for the 2-point conversion, and this could be big. Fort Payne's with a 5-point lead, and they go with one back in the backfield. That is Darrell Prater. They spread the field and line up in a double tight end formation. One of these tight ends is going to catch this pass. They send Thomas Brennan in motion back to the far side, and Chadwick can throw it into the end zone. He has a man complete to Heath Owen. A great play there. They ran it to Heath Owen. He scored the 2-point conversion with 6:52 to go in the game. Fort Payne now leads it 22-15 back in 30 seconds. Wildcat Sports Network. Well, Fort Payne answered the Huntsville score as Roger. They took them 2 minutes and 5 seconds to regain the lead after the fumble recovery there.
I think Fort Payne answered the Huntsville score.
That's what I said. Fort Payne answered the Huntsville score. So Patrick Tate will kick it away again. This time he knocked it deep into the corner over here, and it's going to be called on the 5. Up to this near side to the 15, 20, found a hole to the 30. Down this near sideline to the 40, and is tackled at the 42-yard line. Darrell Prater came up there and hit him, but a great run back there. And Huntsville in good shape again. Just as you think, Huntsville's going to roll over and play dead. They come up with a big play.
Well, Fort Payne's going to have to step up their tackling this time. As we said before, the long run that Huntsville had before sure wasn't because of speed. It was just because they had good blocking and we had poor tackling. So the Wildcats are going to have to step it up here in the last 6:43 of the game if they want to win this one.
22-15 is the score. Fort Payne by 7 with 6:43 to go. Huntsville from their own 42-yard line. And they have Matthew DeLilly in their quarterback again. And DeLilly will roll the pass. He throws. He has a man. Complete to the 50, the 45, down to the 44-yard line of Fort Payne. That quick look-in pass. And he found himself wide open. He got it down to the Fort Payne 45-yard line.
That was John Stakely this time on the receiving end of the pass, and he's still on the ground as he kind of got crunched in between two Wildcats. They kind of gnawed on him a little bit.
Stakely is down injured. While they work on him, let's take a break. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network with the score. Fort Payne 22, Huntsville 15, back in 30 seconds. Well, Huntsville just lost their starting quarterback as John Stakely comes out, and his right knee looked like he got kind of twisted when he caught the ball, so both teams going with their backup quarterback, and this will be Matthew DeLilly. DeLilly will run his option play, gave it up the middle, and down to the 40, and on down to the 39-yard line will go Michael Geary. They may tackle him. They tackle him just inside the 40. So that will be Geary on the tackle, and another pretty good run on first down for Huntsville. They'll be 2nd and 5.
Good job by Jonathan Dreyer there, Larry, on the tackle.
6:04 to go. Clock not a factor yet. Huntsville has all 3 of their timeouts left. They send twin receivers to the far side, and Matthew DeLille is in their quarterback again. And DeLille will run his counter option, gave it up the middle, and down to the 44, 37-yard line. They ran exactly the same play, and this play picked up about 3. Huntsville's going to be third down in a couple. We haven't seen anything real fancy out of this Huntsville team, have we?
No, and this is basically the same play that they had the big run on in their last possession.
Third down and a yard for Huntsville. If they get it to the 35, they've got a first down with 5:18 to go. They were driving a little while ago and fumbled the ball into the end zone. Now here will be Fort Payne. They're going to give it to Gary to the far side. Got his first down, got across the 35 to the 34. A first down. Ran to the left side this time and picked up a first down. Clock says 5:04 to go, and it stopped temporarily. It will start back, though. Plenty of time for Huntsville. Fort Payne's defense going to need to stiffen. 22-15 in a game that you thought Fort Payne was going to run away from early. They grabbed an early 14-0 lead. And since then, they've done nothing on offense except for that last drive when they had to. And DeLille will send receivers wide left and right, splits his backfield, rolls the pass, he fakes, gonna throw it long down that far side and has a man open. It is gonna be complete down to the 5-yard line. Darryl Prater was it Anthony Thompson. Never
Number
looked
4,
up.
Anthony Thompson.
Anthony never looked up, and the ball just floated right over his head, right into the hands of Matt Kahanick. And Huntsville in business to take the lead, or to tie the game, or maybe take the lead.
Kind of looked like Fernando Bryan had snuck into the game for Fort Payne on that play.
Yep. What did it mark? 7?
It's going to be marked at about the 6 or 7, Larry.
27-yard pass there. And here is Huntsville going to give the ball to Gary. Gary couldn't go anywhere. Broke a tackle, but now down he goes. Fort Payne did a good job of coming up there to knock him down right around the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Jonathan Dreyer, was the first there to make tackle. And that was Gary with no gain on that play. Big hit there by Jonathan Dreyer.
Matter of fact, they may have lost a half a yard on the scoreboard. They'll mark it back 1 yard to the 7.
So, second down and goal to go for Huntsville. Clock is under 4 minutes now. And the Crimson Panthers trying to take the lead. Well, actually trying to tie Fort Payne if they could score a touchdown and an extra point. Twin receivers to the far side. Kahanick is your quarterback, and he's going to roll the pass. And he's going to throw it in the end zone. Has a man open, dropped it. He had a man wide open. It went right through the hands of Michael B. Gale. And he was wide open. Went right through his hands.
I think, again, they tried that little screen that they scored on earlier.
Well,
there.
Jonathan Dreyer had fallen down. I guess that was probably his man, but somehow he was picked off or either slipped. But that was a big break for the Wildcats.
I mean, if you're Huntsville, why don't you come back with exactly the same play? Fort Payne has not defended it tonight. That play's been open twice, and twice they have failed to complete it. Same formation. Let's see if he does go that same play. So here will be the guy. He'll roll the pass. On those to the far side. Same play to the other side. Incomplete. Incomplete. Huntsville crowd yells for a flag, but nothing doing, and it'll be 4th down now. That was Dreyer, and he had him covered up that time.
Might have hit him a little earlier, but I don't think anybody could have caught the ball. The ball wasn't even catchable.
Not a good
Now, boys, in high school football, there's no such thing as an uncatchable ball. Huntsville calls timeout. They're going to talk about it. The Crimson Panthers talk about it on 4th down from the 7 back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. Huntsville has got their play, and they're about ready to go, and into the game will come John Stakely. Stakely back into the game, so that knee injury he had a little while ago is well, and they're going to go, and you're going to run that pick play again?
Why not? Every time they've tried it, it's pretty much worked.
You're probably going to have Stakely lined up as wide out.
What they do is they run a little crossing pattern on one side, and one of the receivers goes down and kind of picks the wide out, and they've got Stakely lined up on this near side along with Michael B. Gale. I guarantee you B. Gale would love to have another crack at it. And this will be 4th down for the Crimson Panthers, and here they come. They're going to run it, and they're going to throw it. It's going to be incomplete. Threw it badly that time, and that was not the little pick play, but he just threw that ball into the ground before Payne stopped him.
Stakely actually pushed off on Darryl Prater, too.
That's the reason Stakely wasn't looking for the ball. He was in the end zone pushing on Darryl Prater, and when the quarterback threw it, he wasn't even looking.
So for Payne, Huntsville got to the 7-yard line, and Fort Payne stopped them on 4 downs and will take over with 3:31 to go and a chance to run this clock out. But you know, the Fort Payne's been down here a couple of times like this, fumbled twice, gave Huntsville 2 touchdowns. So it's not over yet, but if Fort Payne can punch out a couple of first downs, run this clock out, and win this game, get out of here. They'll start on the 7. And Kenny Chadwick is in there quarterback again for Fort Payne, and he's going to give it to Darryl Prater, and he got knocked down short of the line of scrimmage. Get down at about the 6.
That was the Perez kid, again, making the tackle for Huntsville. He's had a real good game, Larry. You said going in, he was one of their premier players, and he's shown it to us tonight.
Patrick Perez, 5'11", 239 pounds, just a junior. And the clock is going to be under 3 minutes when Fort Payne snaps the ball again. Huntsville has 2 timeouts left. Clock is right now at 3 minutes. This will be Fort Payne to the line of scrimmage. They're probably not going to do anything fancy now as they send wide out left and right. And Kenny Chadwick is your quarterback, and Chadwick just runs the quarterback sneak and got slung down right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd down for Fort Payne. 2:42 to go.
And it was Perez once again.
So Chadwick lost a yard on the play. They'll mark it back to the 6. This game's not over yet.
Well, no, Larry, it seems like, you know, we really did need to at least make a first down here to have some sort of chance of running out the clock, and really we haven't made much of an effort toward picking up that first down.
2:19 to go, 2:18 to go. If we don't do anything here, Huntsville's probably going to call a timeout. Third down, Warpaint's got to get to the 17s for a first down, 3rd and 11. Kenny Chadwick is your quarterback, and Chadwick is going to run Elliot McElrath, and he got a yard. 4th down with exactly 2 minutes to go. Clock continues to run. I thought Huntsville would call a timeout here, but they don't. So it will be down to 1:45, and Huntsville using an awful lot of clock. Boy, Fort Payne in no hurry, and why should they be? Clock is continuing to run, and I think they were trying to decide if they're going to take a safety, but leading by 7, you would think that Thomas would just punt this ball away. Down to 1:28, Huntsville still has 2 timeouts. Huntsville has 10 men on the line of scrimmage, and the Wildcats are just now to the line of scrimmage, and they get a delay of the game with 1:20 to go. Don't think that's going to make a whole lot of difference, but it might. Delay a game with 1:20 to go. Now the clock will stop, and Huntsville has, who's that? Case? What number is that back? 83?
Yes, 83.
Jerome Roberts stands on his own 40-yard line. Now what's Fort Payne going to do? You going to take an intentional safety or punt it away? Thomas Brandon will stand in his end zone.
He's looking back to see where the end line is.
1:19 to go. That's funny. Thomas will get the kick away. And got a line drive kick away that's going to take a great bounce and bounces up close to the 44-yard line. It's right at the 45-yard line. Huntsville's got to go 45 yards in 1:11 with 2 timeouts to go. So a good punt there by Thomas Brandon. 39-yard kick.
Probably the shortest one he's had tonight. Of course, he was under pressure with being right under the shadow of the goalpost there, and also he was pressured. So not a bad punt, really, for Thomas under such pressure.
Huntsville will get the ball with 1:11 to go in this game. And they got to go 45 yards for the touchdown to tie Fort Payne. They have double receivers to the near side, a single receiver to the far side, and DeGill is in there at quarterback for Huntsville, and he'll roll back to pass. He whips it down this near sideline, and the ball is going to be knocked away by Cameron Kennedy. A great play there by Cameron.
Almost intercepted by Cameron Kennedy. Actually, the receiver for Huntsville had to become the defender, it looked like.
Really don't know why he waited so long to throw it to him. He had Michael Miguel wide open 15 yards down the field. Did a fake pump, and I guess just wanted to go for the whole distance on the one play. He could have picked up 15 to 20 yards if he'd have thrown the ball a little earlier.
Well, not. He just kind of looked like he's kind of shot put the ball down. It didn't look like he has a real strong arm. And they have Stakely back in there, and where is he? He's lined up on the far side, I guess. He's a wide out on the far side. So we'll be back to pass again. Throws it out here to the near side, incomplete. Not a very good passing game. They tried to run the little quick out, and all by himself there was Matt Kohanic, and the ball was, 5 yards over his head?
And short.
So it'll be 3rd down. You would think it's going to take some kind of fluky play for Huntsville to be able to get into the end zone here. Not a very good passing game. They don't have a runner that we've seen in the last few weeks that could break it 45 yards. And they have 3rd down and 10 with 1:01 to go. And they send wide outs left and right. And now Huntsville calls a timeout. They're trying to call it. Now they call a timeout.
I don't think they have enough players.
They sent Stakely off the field and didn't have enough players, so they had to burn a timeout. Only have 1 left with 1:01 to go. Timeout on the field. Fort Payne leads it by a score of 22 to 15. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. 1:01 to go in the game. Huntsville has 1 timeout left. 3rd down and 10, and the coaching staff next to us say, watch for the screen of the little swing pass or the pick play. So let's watch all 3 of those. As they line up twin receivers on the near side, single receiver to the far side. Matthew DeLille is still in there at quarterback. And Matthew will run it out here, and it's going to be complete to the 40. Somebody missed a tackle, and he's going to be tackled back at the 40. He went backwards. They ran a little quick pass in there, and the ball was complete to Kahanic, and he went backwards after he caught the ball. They burned their last time out with 49 seconds to go. It'll be 4th down and 5 when we come back with Fort Payne hanging on 22 to 15. Back in 30 seconds on the Wildcat Sports Network. Huntsville will have one final opportunity, 4th down and 5 from the Wildcat 40 with 49 seconds to go. They have no timeouts left, and they've got to get to the 35 for the 1st down. The quarterback is Matthew DeLille. They have double receivers to the far side, a single receiver to the near side, and he throws a little out pass, incomplete. He had a man all by himself down around the 35, and that was Matthew DeBigale, and he was all by himself again, Rod, but an incomplete pass.
Well, this guy's not a very accurate passer. He's had people wide open pretty much all night. Has hit him what? Hit them, I mean, maybe, what, 20% of the time?
You're being generous. 45 seconds to go. Fort Payne needs to kneel on it one time, and this will be over. Fort Payne will run their record to 3-2. Huntsville will drop to 3-2. The Wildcats will be home next week to take on Gordon Lee. Coach John Mackersley, the head football coach there at Gordon Lee. And Fort Payne will have Kenny Chadwick to drop on a knee, and there he goes all the way back to the 35, and that will be probably the last play. We're down to, well, they have to run one more. Depends on when they spot the ball. They'll have to run one more. It's down to 34 seconds, so Fort Payne will have to run one more time. The Wildcats get out of here with a win. It wasn't very pretty. Fort Payne jumped to a 14-0 lead and saw Huntsville come back to take a 15-14 lead. Then the Wildcats drove it when they had to. 51-yard run by Darrell Prater sealed the victory for Fort Payne. And the Wildcats get out of here with a win. Down to 12 seconds to go, and now Kenny Chadwick will step in under the center. And as soon as he gets this ball and hits the knee, that's it. So Fort Payne will win the game by a score of 22-15. And the trend continues. Fort Payne and Huntsville have played 4 times, and all 4 times the visiting team has won the game. So Fort Payne wins it by a score of 22-15. We'll be back in 2 minutes on the Wildcat Sports Network.